What's up, guys? DJ Half Hat here. As you guys know me, I'm gonna do a little coil making tutorial, cleaning coils, pretty much all like the maintenance stuff. This idea actually came from Dotelli, so if any of you were needing something like this, go ahead and go thank him right now. I'm just gonna show you how to clean coils if you need to clean them after they get all gunky. How to make coils, and how to recotton your new coils or old coils. Obviously I'm making new coils, but this also works for whenever you're cleaning coils and just basically changing your cotton for your next juice. So here is my coils and stuff before I do anything to them. Look kind of nasty. The cotton doesn't look too nasty, but the coils right there that are looking pretty nasty. So yeah, that's those before, and obviously I'll show you how to clean them, and I'll probably only do like one run through. Usually the way I clean it, I do like 2 or 3 run throughs, but since I'm basically making new cotton, I'm just going to show you how to do it. And going to be doing this new juice I just got. I'll show you the box so you know the flavor and everything. It's called Midnight Squeeze. It's a refreshing lemonade mixed with blackberries. And it is by Little Head Vapor. So there you guys go. There's all that. And I am also going to be using something else I actually just got in the mail. It is my Coil Master. And basically, as you can see, it has all the tools you need to make new coils and all that stuff. It also came with cotton, but I have my own cotton that I typically use, which I'll need to find that at some point. I don't know where I put it, but I'm going to cut it off right here. I'm going to get everything situated. I'm going to get what I need to clean the coils. I'm going to get everything that I need for when I make my new coils. And alright guys, I'm back. So, what you first need to do if you are cleaning your coils is you need to have ceramic tip tweezers. These actually did not come with my Coil Master set. I had bought these separately previously. You get these, and before you can do anything else with cleaning, you want to take out all your dirty cotton. And the way I like to do that is pinch them together, go under, and then just slowly pull it out. And you do that for both sides until all your cotton looks like this. And then what you want to do is have them open, grab whichever side is the thickest. So for this one, I would grab this side because, as you can see, this side is thicker than this side, and the reason you're doing that is because this side will be able to come out easier when pulling because it is thinner. And you just want to pull, and I know my cotton is very juicy. That's because I juiced it last night and then got up this morning and my stuff was here. So there you go, you pull that out. Don't do anything special with that, just throw it away. And then you do the same with this one. This one, they're both pretty similar thickness, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Sometimes you'll have this, if it happens, it'll just tear like that. No big deal. Actually makes it a little bit easier on yourself. So then you just grab the other end, pull it right out. And then I should also mention this, you should also have tissues or paper towels, something, because a lot of your stuff will get very gunky, and if you're a perfectionist like me and you like to keep your stuff clean, you tend to wipe it off after you use it, which we will come back to these, but I like to wipe off that extra juice stuff and gunk just to keep them a little cleaner. And now what you want to do to clean the actual coils is you want to have, you know, a bowl or a cup or just something filled with water, anything filled with water, doesn't really matter stuff. So what I like to do is get my head cap for my RDA, and I like to take it apart. And what I like to do when I take it apart is get a paper towel and, you know, just kind of wipe off some of that extra juice, because you want it clean and you don't want to contaminate your new juice. Especially if you're changing a juice, you don't really want to contaminate it. And then you just set it right inside of the cup of water, or bowl of water in my case. So again, just wipe off any juice on the inside, because when you're vaping it, obviously it's splurting up and splatting everywhere. So it's kind of dirtying all your stuff up. And you just want to put each individual piece inside of the water. And this just basically, you know, like I said, cleans it, keeps you from, you know, vaping any of that old juice, so you get a more pure flavor on the next juice. Alright, now for the part you guys have been waiting for the whole cleaning coils thing. Again, like I said, I'm only going to do one part because I am changing my coils at the same time. So, what you want to do is you want to get this and you want to heat it up. I'm going to kind of put it over here because it's kind of splat. So you want to do this until they start to glow. Once they start to glow, you just kind of feather the button, because that means it's burning off all that gunk. So you get it to glow, and then you put it head down, dip it in the water, and we'll see if I can get a good little look for you. If you can really tell, because I know the lighting's pretty crappy, the coils are actually quite a bit cleaner. Mainly there will be gunk on your coils, and when you're heating them up red hot, it'll start to really kind of cook, essentially burn off all that stuff, and then when you dip it in the water, it'll all just fall right off. Change coils and things like that. So what you want to do is, there's multiple tools for this, because all vape, well, not all RDAs are different, but most are, and some have either, you know, your basic Phillips, some have flatheads, and then others, which I seem to find a little more rare, but they do happen to have the little hex heads. So what you want to do is, again, this came with the Coil Master thing, you just get like a basic small little screwdriver that'll fit in it, put it right up in there, and loosen. And the reason you do this is so you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use pliers or your little ceramic tips, but I like to just use that, pull it right out, throw it right into the trash. Switch to the other one, loosen, loosen, grab, throw away. And there you go. Now you have a nice clean slate for your new coils. Now what I'm going to do, again, this is a optional thing depending on how much of a perfectionist you are. I like to get my RDA. Sometimes I take it off, other times I don't. And I like to fully submerge it in the water, kind of dip it in and out, shake it off, and then get a Q-tip. And then, because these wells are very small and it's kind of hard to get a paper towel or tissue in there, and then just kind of dry it off, wipe it down, get all that excess water and juice and everything that's in there off. Once you do that, you just set that aside. You can throw it away if you had to use both sides and get it all nasty. And then there you go, you have your clean slate. Now, I'm obviously, actually, I should probably show you this part as well. So then, after you let that soak for a few, it doesn't have to be soaked too terribly long. You get your RDA pieces out and dry them off with a paper towel. This is why I like to have 2 to 3. I like to have 2 so that way I have one for cleaning off any juice and then the other for cleaning off the water. And I don't like to use the one that I just cleaned off that I cleaned off the juice with, just because I feel like it's basically re-dirtying it, re-putting the juice on there. So then I just get a second one, clean off any excess juice or excess water, and then slowly put it back together. Alright, I'm done with that. So it's time to get into the coil building. So I'm not going to actually show you how to do it like the way if you don't have one of these coil master sets. Basically the way you do it if you don't have a coil master set is you get one of these mini screwdrivers, which most vapors have for, changing their coils and whatnot. You get one of these mini screwdrivers. This one just happens to be a hex head. And basically you get your wire, get it however you want, wrap it around this, and kind of smush it together, tighten it a little bit, and then you take it off, put it into your RDA, bam, you pretty much just made a coil. That's how most people do it. If you do have one of these coil masters like I happen to, you use this fancy little tool. And now, basically, this right here is where you wrap your coil around. You can take this off, and then also with this, there are different little sizes, and they're all basically the roundness of the actual coil itself. And you slide it into this, screw this on, boom, you have that part. And then this part, there's 3 of them. This one is for the 30 and the 25. Basically you put it into here, you'll see that it has this little screw thing. Boom, put it into here, twist, and it'll slowly build up into your actual coil. And then this one, most of them actually, have these little holes. Not sure if you can see them. Yeah, those little holes right there that go out to the top, and you put your coil through that hole out the end, and then you basically just hold it and wrap it. So I'll try and do a semi-quick example. Guys, so as you know, I'm going to be building a coil. So basically for a coil, what you'll need is this little tool. If you have this, if you don't have this, you can use just a small little screwdriver. But if you do have one of these coil master sets, which there's other brands of these sets, but I just have the coil master. You just want this little set, which this is what you wrap your coil around, this is what you used to wrap the coil. And then you want some of these. I personally prefer these. You don't need these because you can also have pliers. And I only use these pliers like once, and that's because of the way I do my certain build. So you need these, one of these 2 things, and then obviously you already have these. So let's get right into the build. Basically, you want to get your wire, unwrap it from the spool, get as much wire as you want, and because of the build I typically get a little more than you would normally get, just because I do a dual parallel setup, which obviously as I'm doing this build I will be showing you what the parallel part is. Based on the name, should be pretty self-explanatory, but not everybody knows. So what you want to do is get your wire, basically